Hi everyone, welcome to 143 Handmade. This is Liz, and I hope to finish this little golden book journal up today. So we'll see how far I get. We're going to work on the cover next. And as you can see, I did go ahead and cut it. It had been partially split when I bought it, and I got it for only 10 cents, so I went ahead and just split that the rest of the way. And I pulled out this cardboard piece. I mean, it looks dirty, but I have wiped it all down with some sterilizing wipes. And then all I did is I just gently cut right there. Yeah, you can see how it was ripped, partially ripped right there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this piece of fabric in here, like so, to extend out and adhere to the outside of this cover, and make this cover just that little bit wider. So, let's stop talking about it and just get to it, huh? Okay, so I know that I just want to put glue just right along this cardboard edge. I'm not actually taking the fabric all the way over. You'll see why in just a minute, because I'm going to add another piece of fabric to the inside that will cover that up. So, here we go. Like so. Okay, sorry about that. I had to deal with a message. And then I'm just going to wipe my finger along it to even out that glue. Make it nice and flat. And I'm gluing this with the pretty side of the fabric out, because this is going to be the outside cover extension. It's just being glued to the inside right here. You don't want to push too hard, because then you'll get bleed through, but actually on this point you won't even see that part actually, so it doesn't even matter. So, because you won't see the back of it. And then we're just going to glue these little tabbies really good and glue them on down, just like they were. Okay, now I'm going to flip it over so I can work on this side. Oh, my glue bled just a little bit. I'm going to try and just roll it off real quick while it's still drying. That looks nice, actually. I think I got it. I wasn't sure I was going to be able to, but you know, I can always glue another little piece of lace or something along here if I need to. You know, you can always just add another layer if you have a glue line. That's one of the great things about the junk journal world, is that you never make a mistake. There are no mistakes. And there we go. And then what I'm going to do is lay these down. I am going to use the grid on my mat here to make sure I'm getting everything nice and flat and straight, you know. But again, you know, it's the junk journal world, so it doesn't have to be, you know, exactly perfect. It can be as imperfect as you can allow it to be. And see, and I want to make sure. I was going to try and leave this exposed, but that doesn't give me very much glue space, so that's just not going to work. And it does have the golden right there, so just go ahead and reline this up. Scooch it in, just that little bit. There we go. And I think I'm done fussing with it now. And I'm just going to turn this back and just put glue right along this edge. A pretty good bleed, but just right along this edge. And yep, it did move. All that time getting it straightened out, and I moved it. That's funny. Isn't that how it works, though? Making books, it's a lot of back and forth, you know, getting everything aligned, and it can be a little fiddly if you let it be, if you want it to be. Or it can be very spontaneous. It's really, there's no wrong way to make a book. If you know, if you end up with a book at the end of your process, then you did it. Whether you've seen anybody else do that or not, whether it, you know, you could explain what you did or not, whether or not, you know, it makes sense to anybody else, your process. It doesn't, none of that matters. If you end up with a book, especially if you end up with a book you like, you have definitely succeeded. Or that the person you made it for likes. Because sometimes that's even more important, right? When you're making gifts. So, there we go. And I thought that dark purple brought out the words, you know, brought out the purple on the cover. Even though there's not a lot of dark purple in there. But now I'm going to gently flip it over. And you can see how that still leaves, you know, these kind of ugly exposed edges on the inside and whatnot. So, what I'm going to do is add this piece of fabric here. And you can add all kinds of things to this space if you want. You know, you can add Tyvek tape, you can add cardboard, you can add cardstock, you can add just a layer of paper, you can add, you know, so many different options. I am just going to use the fabric because fabric is incredibly strong, especially when glued with appropriate glues. There's really nothing, I don't think there's really anything much stronger in the bookmaking world than glue saturated fabric. So that's why I don't worry about adding plastic, you know, a layer of plastic in here that might break down. So, not saying that it's wrong in any way. I'm just saying that's why I don't do it. I prefer the glue saturated fabric essentially. And I don't actually like thoroughly saturate it. Like it's not you know, I don't have like a vat of glue that I'm dunking it in or anything. But you know, and those little pink tabbies here, I could actually flip those back out still and put those around the yellow if I wanted to. But I think I'm going to go ahead and let them be on the inside. But you know, it's one of those personal preference things. You can totally make that choice for yourself. And I am going to go ahead and layer up the glue like fairly heavily where I know that the you know, the cover of the book is on this glue, or on this fabric here. I'm not worried about the bleed through at all. But over here, where I might get some bleed through, I'm not actually squeezing out any more glue. I am just moving around the glue that's already there and trying to spread a thin layer out, adding just the smallest amount as needed. And hopefully I don't get any bleed through. I've had good luck with this before, but I haven't actually used this fabric before, you know, and every fabric's a little different. And this is a darker one. The lighter ones tend to not show it as much. Dark fabrics tend to show the glue lines rather well. There we go. Lots and lots of glue. That's basically what I'm saying here. I am an overgluer in a lot of situations, but I really do feel like if you're gonna be stingy with your glue, this is not the place. You don't want to be stingy on your binding. This is what's holding your book together. This is what's going to anchor your pages. I'm going to punch holes in this and you know, thread my signatures through there. So make sure it's evenish. You know, and you do have a minute with this, with the Fabrifix. You can, you know, kind of align it. And then if you're off a little bit, you can pick it up. Getting an extra string out of there. There we go. And again, you just want to gently push it into the glue. You don't want to really, like, you know, press it in really hard because you don't want to cause that bleed through. There we go. That looks nice. Go ahead and push it in there just a little bit right along this edge, because you're not really going to notice it even if there is bleed through right, you know, on that horizontal. And I can tell I am actually causing some bleed through. I can feel it in the coolness, but that's okay. Like I said, right along this edge, you want to give that little bit of leeway so when everything's bending, you know, it's got lots of space and it's nice and well adhered. So that looks good. If you're worried about this, you know, any little hangy bits that you might have, feel free to add a little bit more glue and tack them down as you see fit. Or let them fly. Let them be. So there we go. Back over, and actually I don't see any bleed through because it's a mottled fabric and none of it's not showing through. So phew, that worked really, really well. Okay, I'm just gonna come over here and my scissors. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and wait for that glue to dry. But once it's dry, what I'll do is I'll either take my scissors or my seam ripper and kind of shred that a little bit and let that, a lot of that still be there, but I will reduce the height of that some, but leave it nice and fuzzy all at the same time. But I want to let this dry before I punch the holes. So that is my cover prep, and I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up here, and I will see you again to install the pages. But that's it. That's all we have left to do is sew in the signatures after this dries, and then this journal will be done. So I just can't tell you how much I appreciate each and every one of you. I just passed 600 subscribers. You guys are awesome. I can't tell you how each share, like, comment, subscription, all of that, I can't tell you what it all means to me. Every single minute we spend together, I genuinely appreciate it. And I can't wait to hang out with you some more. Thank you, thank you.